don't think these tyres were up for the job. So, obviously, I just loaded it onto the dyno. Today is going to be obviously mapping, get as much power as they can. Limiting factors are going to be fuel pump, because I think from over here it's on a single 044 pump. And then the turbo size, which is a 3076. It's not the biggest turbo, but again, they're the two limiting factors of this engine making big numbers like the 7s. But at this moment in time, they're just getting it prepped, they're just getting it done. So let's see how this pans out today. It's the ugly mush that's stuck next to me. So just climbed inside to have a look round, so point out a few bits before he gets on the dyno. They were on the Fueltech FT550. This is becoming a very, very popular ECU these days. This is on 99 with TYRE. You've also got the clutch slipper, anyone who knows these. So what that does is you can sidestep your clutch, and it's on like an adjustable valve, which is this knob here you twist. And what that does is it makes your clutch come off at a certain rate. Your launches are always consistent. You can sidestep your clutch and you can dial in your 60 foot and your launches with that. Look at your hand, you know, hydraulic handbrake for staging. I don't know if the original one, it is actually looks like it's actually working because the cable's on. Again, looks like standard shifter on the cable. It's got full half cage in the back, as you can see, for safety, because obviously it's part of some of the regulations now. He ran, I think, a low 11, mid 11, so now he's going for a bit faster, needs a bit of safety. So what's the story with the car?
It's all Terry's fault. He bullied me into it. He wouldn't pay me until I put the entry of the door slammer back here.
What do you mean by not pay you?
Well, he's one of my customers. I sell tools for them.
Right, okay.
So tools for Terry's garage. So I'm not paying you this week until you put the entry in.
So what's the story behind the car itself? Where's the name come from? What is the fault? Because of you, right?
Hocus pocus, the picture on your focus, isn't it?
We don't come out with that, it's on the body, going hocus pocus.
Spec, what is it? So is it the 170 engine? The ST170
Yeah,
engine?
it was to start with, but it is now.
Right.
No, 2200s. Terry got them off a couple of weeks ago. We've got a best Chinesium Evo in there. It's an 80mm Jeep Cherokee throttle body.
You're right a bit out.
Just wanted the bum, didn't he? Just wanted the bum. Did you see him go straight for the bum cheeks?
Okay, 41. Yeah, I think that's.
You've got a brake binding. Bloody hell.
Are you going to fix it?
So Chris has been working on all the low down stuff before he started applying boost. There was a slight misfire. So we did say before he started, the lads have said they're on old plugs. So changing spark plugs for new ones, gapping them to whatever spec they run them at. But then they've also found that one of the calipers is sticking on. Oh, I could hear a slight noise as it was running, but now we've put the, like, I can't think what it's called, temperature scope thing. I can't think it off the top of my head. It's showing some massive heat. I think it's like 180 degrees on one of the discs. So we're going to look at sorting that disc and caliper out, freeing it up, maybe even taking it off and clamping the line, because technically it's on a dyno, it doesn't really need the caliper. That's the first step, and then I'm sure Chris will start putting some boost into it. So, back running again, plugs changed, gap down, caliper fixed. Basically, pried the pads out, clamped the line, so technically the caliper's not working, not clamping on. Chris is now cleaning the fuel map up, and then started, obviously, ramping boost and rank ignition timing. But so far, so good. So still early it's early days on the adventure of this. We have just seen 16 psi. We're not sure whether that's a bit of boost creep because it is only on a 1-bar spring, but we're not sure whether Chris has added any boosters yet. But we've just seen 16.2 psi and it's made 354 horsepower. So I think it's still early days and I think there's a lot to come. Fingers crossed he'll get into the 5s because obviously he's hoping for mid 500s. He'll be happy with that.
Over to you, Al.
No.
I was in fifth gear. I've been in fifth gear.
Oh, right,
Now
just
can't
stop.
get fifth. No, yeah, it goes back into someone else. Yeah.
Basically trying to go again. Looks like the gearbox has somehow lost 5th gear. We don't know whether something's moved, the selector's shifted. So they're just investigating that issue and then fingers crossed we can go again. Unsure whether we can do it in the lower gear. We'll find out. We're on this journey. I'm on this journey as much as you guys are watching this. So that's what we're up to. Trying to figure out this gear selector issue and then they'll be back on.
Well, yeah, he wants to the shape of the fuel lamp event, but there's, yeah, so something funky about the fuel system, but it's working. Above 4,000 times it's smooth out. So. Yeah, right, we'll see when we get on.
So they managed to fix the gearbox, they've got all the gears, supposed to do a spring on top of the selector. Don't know these boxes enough to comment. But what was interesting then is Chris has obviously said there is a slight wave at the beginning of the rev range on the fueling, which he can't really clean up any better. And it is down to the harmonics in the fueling system. So that's quite interesting to see. You can see, if you look at the actual graph I've just filmed, it wavers up and down. It's insane what harmonics can do. Fueling to engines to everything. So let's get in because they're going again. We're up now to 20 psi and it's just tipped over the 400 horsepower mark. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where it ends up. They're taking bets. Someone's saying 480, someone's saying 500. Who knows? I know the aim is to get to 550, but if you think he did a mid 11 at 300 and something, it's going to be a very different car with the extra power. So let's see if Chris keeps ramping the boosting. I think you see, like I said previously in the video, it's either going to run out of fuel or the turbo's going to max out. I'm going to probably guess turbo's going to max out, but let's see. So if you look at that power run, you will see sometimes I can imagine Chris's job gets hard with these cars because no one makes it easier for Chris for points to be able to strap down the car. They all want to make the power, but they never make his life easy. So he's had to basically strap crossways, but one of the straps has been slightly close to the exhaust. Not touching, not rubbing, but slightly close. But after a few runs, the heat's just basically degraded the strap. Maybe it has lifted or the car's squatted or something's gone on and the straps give out. So we're going to restrap it and go again. So as you will see at the last dyno pull, the tyre basically ripped the tread off. Now, I've never seen this before. It's always a first, but it pulled the full tread off the tyre. Unfortunately, it did damage Chris's computer control the laptop, so basically it's end of play. How can I put it? This is also another reason why we're trying to assist Chris in doing these videos, is to show people that their cars need to be on tip-top condition before putting on the dyno, because potentially cheap tyres, because they were, I don't know the names, but the cheap tyres put on there just to run the dyno on is not up for the job, and potentially that could have gone really bad and damaged the rollers. It's damaged his computer, but we think it's salvageable and it can be repaired, but it just shows it could have gone seriously really wrong. Chris just being professional, known to grab on and brake, but that just shows you these cheap Chinese tyres at 500 horsepower does not work whatsoever. So another rule of EFI parts, good known brand, if not brand new tyres, is coming into play from today. Handbrake off. Don't think these tyres were up for the job.
That's extra, mate.
Yeah, it is. As you will have seen, not really the way we wanted the day to end. The tyre delaminated, took out some of the wires for the dyno, took out some of the wing of the Focus, caused minimal damage to the car, but potentially could have been a lot of damage to the dyno. It had shredded through some cables on the handheld controller for the dyno. That handheld controller is around, let's say, we're having a guess, £3,000 to £4,000. So from the tyre failing could have cost Chris £3,000 to £4,000 of damage, let alone the amount of time it would take to fix, to order the part. It could have been weeks and weeks and weeks before getting it. That's thousands upon thousands of customers that wouldn't have had the car tuned on time. Going back to the tyre was 13 years old. We looked at the date stamp on it. It was called Eco Vision tyre. So basically cheap budget tyre. I'm not making that is someone else's fault. That's the Alan's fault with the car. Even Chris will say he's ran cheap tyres on there many times. And even think, I've got to admit, I've run the Corsa on some cheap snow tyres in the past. I think it's just the fact of that there could have been very catastrophic for Chris and EFI parts due to the damage it could have caused. If anything takes anything away from this video, please, when the car goes on the dyno, check it, triple check it, double check it, and check tyres, check brakes, because you saw the caliper was seized. Just check the car and just do your best to make sure everything is 100%. Luckily, we've been able to repair the dyno, repair the damage. Everything that's happened here has been repairable, and thankfully Chris can carry on working and everything can kind of move on smoothly. So thank you for watching, and I'll see everyone on the next video.